lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Do you have an upcoming event? Well, I encourage you to book Beyond Defense Family for an amazing experience. Beyond Defense is a talented group of men and women who have toured the world to display their talents of song and ministry. Did I forget to mention multi-award winners? They're your one-stop shop for making your event the best in the city. Book Beyond Defense today at beyonddefense.org. Click Menu, then Contact. Beyond Defense, your audience will thank you.
Many times must I forgive and try to move on from the past? But deep down inside I know I have to leave you because there'll never be a past. It seems to me like it's all a planned pattern. You hurt me, then you keep messing up, and then you run back to me because you know it's my weakness. I see your tears and hear your fears. I'd run back to you and drown in your fears.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio. And you better be smiling.
Beyond the fences in the building.
Hey, welcome. Yes. Ooh, did y'all hear that? Y'all know we got a wonderful show tonight for y'all. Yes, we do. I said we got a wonderful show tonight. This your main man, Minister David Benton. And yes, I'm smiling and I am in the building. Shout out to the Elation family. This is welcome again to Beyond the Radio. We got a wonderful show for y'all tonight. It's going down. That's what it is. Repeat after me. It's going down. So let's see who else is in the building with us. Jerry, Truto, Alex, are you in the building?
I'm in the building. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Yeah.
Man, how your week been, my brother? It's been a full week, and we've been missing you, Jerry, Truto, Alex. How you been doing, brother?
I've been working. I've been working. Working with a U.
Oh, yeah, when you're working, it's two different things, man. When you're working, but when you work, that's when it's going down.
Yes, sir. I've been working.
Man, yeah, did you hear that? Did you hear that intro song, brother?
Oh, I loved it. Yes, sir. Yes, I
know it's
did.
Going down. You know it's going down. Down. We gonna get down.
Yes.
So let's get to it. Shay Samuels, are you in the building?
Shay Samuels is in the building.
Yeah.
Shay, I know you've been real busy, Shay. How you been doing, Shay?
Well, we've been busy weekend. We had a very, very, very productive weekend. And, this should have been a rest day, but work never stops.
Amen to that. Well, this how it is. When it's a lifestyle, it ain't work. It's just, it's a lifestyle.
Yes. I enjoy. Shout out to the Elation family. We love you guys.
Yeah, faith without works is dead. Shay, you always say that faith without works is dead. Faith without works.
So I will say that we've just been out sowing a lot of seed this weekend.
Yeah.
We've just been sowing a lot of seed.
Yes, we have. And I had an amazing time. I had me a ball. And, Shay, did you hear the intro song?
Ooh, woo. That song has been on my lips since we heard it. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I be trying to hit the notes. I be trying to I'll be like, oh, I'll be trying to do it, but I'm like, there's only a couple of people that can hit those notes, so I'm gonna stay in my neo soul range.
Well, I can hit it a little bit, but my throat right now is kind of scratchy. So,
you think you can hit it?
Well, right now I'm gonna stick to this one. Ooh yeah. Everybody know how to do that. Ooh yeah.
I'm asking Truto. Do you think you can hit the note, Truto?
No, it used to be trying. Now.
Oh my God.
No, it used to be trying.
Shay, will you please do the honors of welcoming our awesome guests? Because you do this better than me, Shay. You just do it better.
Well, since I have had the opportunity of introducing her once before at the 2017 or 18 Spin Awards,
I don't mind doing it again. It's an honor. This young lady that we have coming on with us tonight is no stranger to music, and she's going to give you a little bit about herself when she comes on, but no stranger to music. I had the opportunity of meeting her at the very first Spin Awards and fell in love with her instantly. In fact, I thought I knew her already, but, when you know people, they always say in spirit, you already know, that y'all are kind of like kin. And that's what it's been. Yeah. I've been sharing her stuff. She's been sharing our stuff, and just grew a found love for her in her music as well. And then had a chance to see her on radio one day, and her amazing husband was, you'll hear more about him too, holding the camera. And it was funny. He's holding the camera, and I was like, oh, they are a dynamic duo. Like, they just do what they got to do.
Someone mute. It's just a lot of feedback.
Thank you. And so I said, this couple is amazing, absolutely amazing. This couple is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to introduce to you guys our sister. We had an amazing weekend with her this weekend. You guys will hear about that. But I'm not even going to hold the line anymore. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our sister, Miss Shawn Ray Price. Are you in the building?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Shay, David, and Mr. J. So glad to be on your show tonight, Beyond the Radio.
Yes, thank you. We are so happy to have you.
I want to go first with the question. I want to go first. My turn. I'm just, I ain't going to lie. I'm going to keep it real. Like, I remember when I first seen her, I said, man, I swear, she looked like a famous singer. I swear, and their voice kind of sounded like. And when I found out who she was, I was like, oh, I ain't shocked. I can tell. So one day, I went to YouTube, and I seen Mariah Carey and the Price Sisters. I just want to ask, how did that feel just doing things background and being around these superstars like Mariah Carey? I want to know. Just give me the goods. Give me the goods.
It was a dream come true, to be honest. It was prophecy come true. And the way everything is, if I told you how everything started, it would take up the whole show. But when I say being blessed to be able to work with mainstream artists like Mariah Carey and Luther Vandross, P. Diddy, and Michael Jackson, so many different other artists, Gloria Estefan. When I say everything was just like a whirlwind, and I'm talking about in a good way. In a good way, everything was just coming. And when the favor of God, when you have that on you, and the doors are opening, doors of opportunity are opening, and then when the Lord can trust you to stand in these places and still live a Christ-like life with them, and people are impressed with your walk with Christ. When I say it was a dream come true, it is a dream come true.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, I want to know, did she ever go like Hollywood and say, I want all red M&M? Did she do that?
No. Me and Mariah, we're the same age. We are the same age, so we were all young, traveling the world together. She was the world's greatest artist at the time, and she was still Mariah. I mean, we were young. We were very 20, 21. And we were just elated to be traveling the world, for the world to love to hear our talent and our gifts and accept us. And she was a normal 22-year-old person. No, she didn't do Hollywood like that. No.
Hey, because I thought about myself if I ever just go Hollywood. I told Truto, I said, Truto, if I ever go Hollywood, everybody else do M&Ms. I'm going to do like all black Twizzlers. I'm going to do gonna do no M&Ms. I'm gonna do some all black Twizzlers for all lives and Black Lives Matter stuff together. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, you don't have to go Hollywood to request all black Twizzlers. When you're an artist, you have your writers. We have our writers, and if you want all black Twizzlers in your dressing room, it's okay. That's not Hollywood. That's just your preference.
Yeah, so okay. All right. I'll give you some all black Twizzlers. That's what I'm talking about now. I feel better. Shout out to John Ray Price. All right, Shay, you go ahead, Shay. I had to chime in because I just wanted to know after I saw the YouTube thing, and I was just like, man, I know that was fun. I know that was fun. So I had to ask that question. I definitely appreciate you for answering it, for real, because I was going to ask you regardless one.
Yeah. Yeah, I go next.
It's my turn now. Mr. Benton. My turn now. Since it has been an honor for me to, it has been an honor for me to actually, I don't know if you remember when we first met at the Spin Awards, and I looked at you and I was like, I feel like I know you from somewhere. And you said, I know you from somewhere. And I said, well, you know what? We know each other now. And you were having your first, I don't know if it was your first concert, but you were having your concert, your album release around my birthday. And I said, go ahead and share it to my page. And it shocked you that I said, I said, it shocked you. I said, go ahead and share it to my page. And you were like, wow, thank you. I think it was at that time that I realized how ununited we are as independent artists. And I didn't realize because, David always, he gets on me a lot because I'll share people's stuff in a heartbeat, and I never think about what people don't do, in return. But if it's good, it's good, right? And so I wanted to ask you about that. As you have become an independent artist, or maybe you've always been an independent artist and you've had the opportunity to share the stages with some really, well-known people, going into the independent sector, how hard is it in our industry to really, just to partner with people and to just support, I guess that's the word I want to use, support people. What have you found in your time as it pertains to the lack of support?
Well, there, just like in the indie world, it's the same thing in mainstream. And so it just really depends on the heart of the person and how secure that person is. And as you and I both have experienced, and David as well, that there are a lot of insecure artists, whether you're mainstream or whether you're indie. And so a lot of that lack of sharing, that lack of support, whether you're indie or you're mainstream, a lot of that comes along with the lack of security or that crap mentality. I don't want anyone to get what I have or to go any farther than me. But like I tell people, I actually had someone working with me for a short period of time, and everything is a learning experience for everyone. And so they were actually doing their job and they're doing it well, but I had to say to them a few different times, listen, we are all on the same battlefield. Us Christian artists, us indie artists, we're on this is the same battlefield. So I'm not competing against any of them, whether they're trying to compete against me or not. I'm not competing. Because what I do is what I do. God gave me my own unique qualities, just like God gave them their unique qualities, and we are on the same battlefield. And I had to tell them, you want to know who my competition is for real? It's the people in the secular industry who's my age demographic, Mary J. And stuff. That's who I have to compete against. My message, according to theirs, I have to grow my audience. We don't have to have the same audience either. But but the bottom line, I don't like the competition thing. We all have our own unique paths,
Yeah, so, and the reason I asked that. Go ahead.
Pause.
I was saying that I hope that I answered your question. Yeah, I have experienced that on both ends of the spectrum, mainstream and indie, and all of that is really an insecurity thing. It's an insecurity issue, but we know who we are. And we're going to keep being who we are, and we're going to continue to support other indies and other artists, and it will never take away from who we are as artists.
Yes, ma'am. And if you did answer the question, I wanted, with you coming from both sides of the world, I wanted to get, it's easier for us to talk because we've been independent artists from the time we started. So I wanted you to really expound because you've been on both parts of the sector. And, some people might say, hey, this is not happening in mainstream, or trying to attain mainstream status, not realizing you're going to get the same thing when you get there. So preparing yourselves for that now. So I appreciate you responding. Truto, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah. True. Right. Listen here. I want to know, do music. How is it balancing business and industry business? Because I know having family and running business, you got to have a balance there. So how do you deal with the balance of that?
David said something when we were together this weekend that is very, very realistic and is very true. You have to know what is first in your life. My family and my home life comes first, regardless of anything. So I learned very early on in my career that nothing takes precedence over my family. So I make sure, I don't care if I have to get up 3-4 hours earlier to make sure that my home, my family, my husband, everybody is taken care of, and then I move it along with the rest of my day with my career, my business, my job, all of that. And I'm a planner. So I plan things out months in advance, even down to my wardrobe. I plan it out weeks in advance because life happens, things happen. Yeah. So I'd rather be prepared than not. I make sure that I have everything that I need to remind me in my planners, on my phone, on my walls. So I don't give myself a chance to forget my obligations. And it's not easy, but a lot of times you have to go above and beyond to make sure that you do, when you keep all of your commitments. And if you find yourself overcommitting, it's okay to stop for a minute, take a breath, take a beat, and then put things back into perspective, and then move it along. So that's how I function. That's how I operate.
Better take notes.
Please take notes. But Sean Ray, I want to say this. As an artist myself, it's like, so we did talk about that on your panel, and I definitely want to personally say thank you for allowing us to come and be a part of your platform, and we greatly appreciate it. And it's definitely a humbling experience, and we love you. I want to say that right now because we definitely believe in giving people their roses while they're alive, because you are artists who have worked very hard, and you are very real. And speaking of being real, I want to talk about your single. A lot of times as Christians, I think we all tend to forget that the Bible says don't just be a reader of the word, but be a doer. There's so many elements in our life, and I think people get caught up on how it's supposed to traditionally look. They forget about that we have to, instead of we don't have to do so much shouting. Sometimes it's just about character. Sometimes it's about working out relationships. Sometimes it's about taking care of children and talking to them the proper way. It ain't all about you got to speak in tongues all day. That's what I love about this new single. What inspired you to say, you know what, this is the song that's touching my heart that I want to give to the world? What made that come about?
Well, actually, it was God inspired, and I know that maybe some Christians don't understand, and but it was God inspired. It's a song that I had in my archives in my library, and I redid it, and I was actually writing and working towards putting out some more Christian music. And I remember just sitting down and talking with Dupree, with my husband, and I'm saying, I cannot get I Try out of my spirit. And I'm like, I don't know how we're going to market this, because we dropped 2 years ago a full, complete gospel album. That is who we are. We are Christians. I said, but I cannot get this out of my spirit. And I said, I have to do what I'm led to do of the Lord. And I said, I keep hearing, we have to drop I Try. And I said, this is a life song. I don't care, Christian, non-Christian, atheist, agnostic, whatever. Everybody is affected by relationships, and everybody wants the same outcome. Everybody wants to be happy. And so that's all I kept hearing, is that you need to drop this life song. And with me and with us working, so Dupree said, all right, well, let's do it. So we got in there. We redid it over, we recreated it, and we prepared to have it, put out there. And we just said, we're going to watch and see what God is going to do, how he's going to open doors for this. It's a life song. It's clean. It's clean. The message is clean and pure. And all it's talking about is just people who grow in situations, and they sometimes outgrow situations. But the final outcome is that for everyone to still just be happy. And so it is. I followed the leading of the Lord. That's what I did.
Yes. The video. Please talk to us about the video. Where can we see the video? We want this, because I've seen the video, and the video is popping. Where can we find the video?
You can find the video on YouTube. Go on YouTube, Sean Ray Price or Sean Ray Cherie Price. I have 2 pages, and so you can go to YouTube, and that's where you'll see it. If you catch it on Facebook, because it's running all over Facebook too, all over social media. But YouTube is the direct link to go. Sean Ray Price, Sean Ray Cherie Price, and I really hope and pray that you enjoy what you see, and that you would even enlightened by the words that you hear. It's a life song, but how many of us try? All of us are trying on a daily basis. We're trying to do things. We're trying to grow. We're trying to, build. And so that's what this is really talking about. Transition, trying, and stuff like that. YouTube.
Yeah. And before we go to this break, before we go to your song, Sean Ray, could you please tell the listeners right here on Beyond the Radio, where can they find you and your music?
If you Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, Sean Ray Price, you can find me on all of those social media pages. You can YouTube me, Sean Ray Price, Sean Ray Cherie Price. If you want to do it the traditional way, Sean Ray Cherie Price at gmail.com. If you want to talk to me, get a message to me, message me through any of those avenues, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Message me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I'm very hands-on. And other than that, I'm accessible. And Shay and David can tell you I'm accessible.
Yes.
Yes, he is. I kind of thought that was a special thing for us, though, David. I thought that was just like because we were David and Shay. But now we know everybody get the treatment, so the gig's up.
Yes. And she is a wonderful hostess.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
We ate
like crazy. That's why I wasn't hungry when we went to Juicy Crab. Because we ate, and I mean, it was a special anointing on every piece of meat, cheese, cracker, chips. It was a special anointing on it all. I have had crackers before. I have had pepperonis. I've had sausage. I've had turkey. I've had Funyuns. I've had it all. It was a special anointing on every piece of food that we ate out of that house.
You're so crazy.
We about to go to this single again. Where the music at? We about to go to the single
David,
again. Yes, I'm still with you.
How many times must I forgive? Try to move be a past. It seems to me like it's all a planned pattern. You hurt me, then you keep messing up, and then you run back to me because you know it's my weakness. My seeing your tears and hearing your fears, I'd run back to you and drown in your fears. That you and I were never meant to be. It took some time for me to see that my love for you won't make you do right by me. So there's no mistaking, I won't be taking more from you.
DJ Big Sick in the mix.
Jesus, you died for me, sacrificed your life for me, and I am changed, no longer the same. In the morning your healing comes, God, you sacrificed your son just for me. for me, just for me. You died and rose again just for me. To the cross they nailed your hands. Only you knew the plans just for me. Just for me. Still you died and yet no sin. On the third day rose again. Just for me. Just for me. Just for me. Just for me. You died and rose again just for me. Just for me. Just for me. You died and rose again just for me. How could I repay the pain you suffered long? Born to die and yet you knew it all along. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Walked alone a path of unrighteousness so all could see. But you did just for me. How could I repay the pain you suffered long? Born to die and yet you knew it all along. Walked alone a path of unrighteousness so all could see. Preparing yourself to die for me. Just for me.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio, and you better be smiling.
Beyond the fences in the building. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Beyond the Radio. We have a very special guest with us tonight. Yes. Our sister, Sean Ray Price. We had an amazing time with her and her husband yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, the sponsors. Did you guys hear the voiceover in the beginning of the radio show? That's our sister, Paula G., Voice Lady Wisdom After Midnight. Available for all voiceover opportunities. We want to give you a shout out, Paula G, as we always do. Thank you for doing an awesome job. AR Media, A Rhodes Media, for any logos, any graphic designs, anything that you are looking for to start or kickstart your business and you want to have that vision with it, look up Mr. Asante Rhodes at A Rhodes Media. And last but not least, Test African Hair Braiding in Wilmington, Delaware, 5910 Kirkwood Highway, Wilmington, Delaware. This young lady has a phenomenal testimony, but she also has a phenomenal shop and beauty salon. I want you guys to visit if you are in the Wilmington, Delaware area. That's a shout out to all of our sponsors. We love you and thank you what you do for Beyond the Radio. And David, I'm handing it back to you.
All right. So, let's talk about, I want to talk about this, Shire. I want to talk about the platform of the indie artist panel that you have. It's phenomenal. It is a great idea. Please talk to us about that because it is remarkable.
Well, first First of all, I want to say thank you, David, and thank you, Shay, for coming and being a guest on the panel this weekend and for sharing of your life, your career, your wisdom, all of the nuggets that you imparted to all of the listeners and viewers on yesterday. Y'all didn't have to be so transparent and so generous with your wealth of information, but you were. And I've been getting so much feedback today on a personal level, text about how they enjoyed you all, they enjoyed the whole thing, and how they've actually learned a lot from all of us yesterday as well. So thank you.
Yes,
Now, the Indie Artist Panel is a spinoff of my Indie Artist Showcase that I do on a quarterly basis. And because I like I call myself a philanthropist of indies, indie. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, musician, producer, or a radio a host. I just call myself a philanthropist of indies because people, as much as mainstream people know them, people need to know the indies as well, that how we contribute to the music industry as well. And so each artist that are presented on my Indie Artist Showcase, we don't have time for them to go into any of the business logistics of being an artist. So this was actually a spin-off of that, where we can really sit down 60 minutes and really dig into the heart of specific business topics and from an indie perspective and how it works for us. And again, with you sharing how many units you sold as an indie artist, do you know how encouraged the indies were when they heard that? Because it shows that it's possible that what we work really will work out for us. So that's how this panel came about. Because just because we're indie artists, it does not mean that we know every single thing to do in order to get closer to the mainstream artistry that we desire. So I really believe that iron sharpens iron, and each one teaches one. And I wear many hats. So I'm an artist, I'm a counselor, artist preparation, my philanthropy through my showcases and the panels. And so, but I'm still learning. Because crossing over into the indie artistry, outside of, I started out being a professional background vocalist. It's different because as a professional background vocalist, you get your calls, you get your emails, they tell you where to go, when to be there, how much you're going to get paid. Everything is provided when you get there. Us as indies, we got to make everything happen from the rooter to the tutor.
That is so true.
Yes.
Well,
Shay,
I enjoyed myself. Go ahead.
I said I'm passing to you, Shay, because I can't stop laughing.
I enjoyed it. Once David starts, he starts singing like right after it too. So and then Truto follows up with a he or something like that. So I'll take over. But I enjoyed myself. You never know the experiences that you're going to get or what you're going to learn. It's kind of like, we always tell people this, and Shay, this is just kind of in honor of you. We know the people we deal with by the quality of work that we put out as a label, right? And so when we get an opportunity to work with someone like yourself, we're not surprised because we understand where we are. And a lot of times when people do get a chance to work with us as individuals, and I mean whether it be an independent artist, people work with you where they see you, if that makes sense.
Right.
So if they
that makes a lot of sense.
And I don't mean where they see you, where they see themselves. So if they see themselves as lowly, then they treat you lowly. You treated us with the utmost respect. You both, your husband, you guys, your hospitality was off the wall. Knowing where you've been, knowing what you've done, knowing who you've worked with, you treated us as if we were right where you've been. And I really, really appreciate you for that and want to tell you that both David and I bragged on it, and we love you so much more because of how you both treated us.
Yes.
Oh, we enjoyed you all so much. Outside of the business, we enjoyed just sitting back, powwowing, and like you said, knick-knacking, eating,
Yes.
and all of that.
Yes. We work with independent artists, Shanray, and I know that you know this, but we work with independent artists who already feel that they've made it, right? And you can't get, and David's joked about the green M&Ms, but we've experienced all of that, and so for us to know where you've been and what you've done, and again, who you work with, I promise you, you are, and I told David this even beforehand, she's very down to earth. I mean, you guys can go back through our Facebook pages, both of our Facebook pages. Shanray and I are taking pictures. We're flicking it up no matter where we are.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
We are flicking it up. If I don't see nobody else in the room and I don't take not one picture with somebody, Shanray is getting a picture. We're going to get that picture together. So since I honor you and the work that you put in to make sure that independent artists are educated, and that is important because people aren't doing it. They're holding that information back. So I really, really appreciate you, and I hope that you guys can stay on. We are going to go into our topic. Truto is going to introduce the topic, but I would love for you to stay on because I know that you'll have a lot to say about what we're talking about tonight, if you don't mind.
We're here. We're going to stay on.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Shanray Price. I want you guys to go ahead and look her up on all her social handles. Sis, can you give the social handles again one more time?
Yes, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Shanray Price, or Shanray Cherie Price. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Shanray Price, Shanray Cherie Price, or if you want to just do email, ShanrayCheriePrice@gmail.com.
And her listeners, if you miss it tonight, you guys will be able to hear the playback. All right, Truto, I'm handing it over to you, Truto.
All right. Y'all. Listen here. Tonight we're going to speak on forgiveness.
Talk to us, Truto.
Yeah, I got 12 brothers. One of them betrayed me. After I got betrayed, they whooped me, spit on me, put a crown of thorns on my head, and nailed me to a cross. All right, now I'm in pain, y'all. Because y'all got to remember, I'm nailed to a cross, so this hurts. But to look up to the Father and say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, I always said the greatest example to us of forgiveness. Now, I'm going to hit you with a scripture. I'm going to go over here to Colossians 3 and 13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. Each of you have a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Forgiveness, I always believe, is a spiritual tool that helps you deal with that. It opens up a door for you to make it through. I would think about it like removing a tree out the way so you can get to your destination. We have to be a more forgiving type of people because we always say that forgiveness is really not always for the other person. A lot of times forgiveness is for yourself. And sometimes for us to be able to forgive ourselves. It's a spiritual maturity when you're able to forgive people. And I'm a living witness. I've been hurt, and I know everybody has been hurt. But it's so sometimes forgiveness that sometimes we can hold anger against a person so long that we don't forget what we mad at them about. If you forgot what you mad at the person about, you need to go on and forgive them. You know that? And this is some brothers and sisters that I always want y'all to keep in mind and challenge yourself. Always be a forgiving person. Learn to have a full bottle of forgiveness on deck, because when you forgive, it's a healing. It's a true healing. I've seen people and know a lot of people who've forgiven people for some horrific things, and it seems as if they breathe better. It's a sense of ease to get rid of that. Instead of us, sometimes we hold grudges and use it as a weapon, and we'll just use it as a dagger, and just whenever we think about the person or see them, we just want to stab them with that grudge we're holding on to, instead of just forgiving.
Yes.
Amen.
Well, I really believe in forgiveness, y'all.
Yes, and you know what, Truto, I remember earlier how you was telling me about forgiveness and how like sometimes you know how they hold people hostage with the forgiveness. You know how like it's like, you know what, even though you slapped me 5 times, you stole $23 from me, you took my shoes, I forgive you. You know what? I forgive you for all you have done to me. Right. And they want to make you feel bad about it, right? So it's like, how do we deal with that, Truto, when it comes to, or anyone can answer that? Like, how do we? Because I think that's the whole point of what I say, like going beyond the fence. Like changing our mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to be angry. And we have to understand that. The Bible say, be ye angry, but sin not. You know, not let the sun go down upon thy wrath. So anger is just a part of who we are. Emotions is what we do. But let's don't get all emotional where we get out of control. And I think that's what we have to understand. So when it comes to forgiveness, like you were saying, Truto, with the healing process, when we forgive, we let out a new energy. See, that's the healing process. When you say, okay, you got to understand when Jesus, like on that cross, when he gave up the ghost, it's just you got to release. You got to release that negativity, especially when it's the past and there's nothing you can do about it now. But you can control the present time. You can't control the past. Right, but you can deal with it right now. Sean Ray, what about? Because your song, like especially in the video, like because it's hard to forgive at times, and that's just a reality. So that song, your song, how would you deal with forgiveness? And you know what made you come with that?
Well, again, it's we know that all of us hurt and betrayal and trauma has affected everybody across the globe. And different people, like we said, it takes growth. It takes therapy, whether you go to a professional therapist or your relationship with the Lord. He really does show you the process of how to walk through forgiveness. Or so when it comes to situations, and although people may experience similar situations, it's not exactly the same. And we have to remember that our foundation, where we come from, a lot of times dictates how we process things, how we handle things, and then also how we can move on from things. But I am a strong believer that as long as there's life and breath, there's always hope, and we can change and grow and move on for the better. Now, with all of that being said, depending on you, where your foundation, where you came from, and the state that you're in, forgiveness comes in many different forms. There are some people that can forgive some people for doing horrendous acts to them. They can forgive them. They can restart a relationship with them, and they can never be affected by how that individual is. Now, that's a very rare individual right there. But it is. There are some people that are like that. It is. That's a very rare individual because, again, we all are human. None of us want to be hurt. None of us want to be betrayed. None of us want to be set up. We don't want to be made to look like a fool. So, but for the most part of it, even Christians, forgiving is forgiving. We do forgive. Forgetting is another thing, and trusting is another thing. And with me being a counselor, I have to sit there and look at the person's whole situation. And if you yes, you forgave the person, but if they are so toxic, and you know, just because we forgive somebody it doesn't mean that person has changed either. So I tell people all the time, if that person is still toxic, if they're still practicing those toxic mannerisms, forgive them and move on. Forgiveness does not validate. It doesn't validate relationships. Forgiveness, and I don't care who it is, forgiveness never ever validates or never incorporates relationships. You can forgive somebody, you can love them, but a lot of times you have to move it along and keep it going.
You know what with that, Sean Ray? I want to say, I want to chime in 1 second on with that. I'm gonna be honest. I think when I really think about it, I think that I'm more forgiving in the situation, but I really don't forgive the person more because I don't trust that person no more. It's like I don't forgive you as a person, but I forgive the situation, and I think that's how I get through it because my trust is like I don't have it anymore, and I look at it and it's like okay, that's why it's a heaven and hell, like the judgment day. Some people just can't be forgiven, you know. Some things I just don't forgive, you know, and it's like, am I wrong for that? That's what I think sometimes, you know.
Are you sure you don't forgive the person and it's you know what? It's easier to forgive the person and it's harder to forgive the actual acts of trauma and betrayal. And so and again, you wouldn't be human if you didn't have some form of, because that's our protective barriers. Okay. Somebody punched you in the face or they used to bully you. I'm giving an example here. You grow up being bullied by somebody. And as you get grown, you go along your way, you see them again, and you may say to them, okay, I forgive you for the things that you've done to me when I was a child. And you probably do. But it doesn't mean that you automatically trust them and you trust their character. Because, and that you're willing to put yourself in harm's way again either. So are you sure that you don't forgive that person, and maybe it's just the act? Maybe you don't forgive the acts that they do.
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna say this because I've been on the other end of watching David. What he's saying. To be honest with you, it depends, because if the person is someone that David cares about, I guarantee you if that person calls because they need something, David may not talk to the person after he did what he was asked to do, but he's going to do it because that's his character. So
right.
I kind of agree with Sean Ray. Now, there are some people that, you don't have relationships with people like, someone you just met out on the street or somebody you met somewhere else and you just didn't vibe with that person. You may not forgive that person. You don't have to deal with that person. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like you're not even going to see that person again. So, but his character is caring. So people do stuff, and Truto can attest to this too, because you've been around long enough to know it as well. David, if it's a person that David really, really cares about, if you called Sean Ray, if you made David mad, and you called and said, David, I need $2, he'll probably grumble all the way down there. She couldn't call nobody else for that $2. But guess what? You're gonna get the $2, Sean Ray, and he ain't gonna talk to you no more after that.
That's how most of the Christians are. Right. We're gonna do it. We're gonna help them out, and we're gonna keep it pushing too.
That's right. That is
well,
right.
Sean Ray, hey, I definitely want to tell you I appreciate you coming to the show. Truto, do you have any last words for Sean Ray Price?
Yes. Nice to meet you. I can't wait to meet you in person. It was wonderful to meet you. And God bless you and everything that you and your family are doing. And continue the great work. That's all I can say. Just stay blessed and continue the good work, all right?
Thank
and
you
tell my
so
brother
much.
What's up?
He right here.
I hear you, brother. I hear y'all.
Hey, Jeffrey. We want to do the beatbox. We had a section for you to beatbox.
What? Hey, love the show, y'all. Enjoyed y'all.
Thank
Greatly
you so much.
Appreciate it. Shout out to Elation. This Beyond the Radio. Sean Ray Price is in the building. That's why we smiling. Y'all, please do what you're supposed to do. Go tell your friend and your friend and a friend about Sean Ray Price, because she is who she says she is. She's a woman of standard character, and she's definitely a woman of God. You will enjoy. It's more than music. Elation. Where that music at? Where the music at? Y'all better come back next Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, or it's going down. It's
Truto. What's up, DB? I think we're gonna make them swag it out to this one. Yeah. They gonna dance to this. Oh, I can see it. Yeah. Give me some love. Give me respect. Give me my God. Give me some space. Give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Give me some love. Give me respect. Give me my God. Give me some space. Give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. You say you're real with it, so real with it. Then you make your big gun chillin' it. Cause the dickers, you don't know who you dealing with. Show me some respect, cause I ain't cleaning with the silliness. Surrounded by the fake, you don't not really get. Never compromise for some dividends. I did it before, but I never will again. Asking God for the forgiveness for my sins. I'm a child of the king, yes, I'm a child of the king. The devil can shatter my dreams, good ground is where plant my seeds, yeah. I got plenty muscle, grinding and easy hustle. Been in the struggle, been in the dungeon, but only a chick for the lunches. Homie, the road with the punches. All people perish for the lack of knowledge. Why you think we are trying to violence? College, it ain't for everybody. Some intelligence, stack your wallet. I been real, told you, I'm close like a windshield. Roll like a big wheel, spinning like windmills, and we will. Give me some love, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, and give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Give me some love, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, give me your blessing. Dance like you holy.
Everything they do is in your face. You close and I can see the pose. I told you. They act so holy, act like they don't know me. Mess up my energy, offensive, religiously, unevenly yoked. They don't mix with my chemistry. Profit out of pocket, speaking in riddles all off topic. Planet starships and rockets, spinning the word bicycle sprocket. What is your option, heaven or hell? So what I dwell will I prevail. It's the journey getting close, I am a saved by the bell. Purposely ordained to carry today. Baptized in the joy and pain, not a slave, turning the pain. Toss a car, breaking the tape. Chopping it out like I get to it, ain't easy being Truto. Oh, let go, fill the room, now I'm attacking all the things. Silicon tea, I think it's all needed. Like the opinion, give me a minute. Everything good come from God. Throw an order off to me, you bop my head like the baby. Ain't no ifs, ands, or maybe. Keep on walking in the light, while the rest be so safe. They can love me, hate me, the blood is thicker than gravy. Two on the word, better take that. Shocking, amazing grace, covers the room, ready, set. Boom, he ain't dead, you heard what I said, the living bread, go check the tune. The bridegroom's returning soon, dang. Give me some love, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, give me your blessing. Dance like you holy. Give me some love, give me respect. Give me my God, give me some space, give me your blessing. Dance like you holy.